It is that time again. I'm on my way to get my blood checked, and I have no idea what to wear because at the moment this weather is a little bit pants, if I use that word instead of what I really want to use. It's not as hot as I would think it would be for June, and also because I get so hot now, I just don't know how to dress. But I also know because I've cut my hair, I also feel cold sometimes and then baking hot. So I'm stuck in this weird lumbo. Oh dear. Let's keep moving on. Just got to the top of my road, and the breathlessness is, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Right, it's kind of late in the day. They usually do my appointments earlier, but they've made this one really late. So I'm hoping the trains are not too packed. But I bought my mask just in case because I feel like yesterday I was getting a I felt like a sore throat. So, and now I'm getting hot just walking to the station. But can't really chance this weather, so let's go. Another 45-minute journey there, and another 45-minute to an hour journey back. Gotta love this for me. So my bloods are all done. Client dressing's been changed. Although I don't rate the guy who did my, and I say guy, nurse, who did my bloods and dressing today, but so it go. I'm not happy with the way it's been laid, so I may ask the nurse tomorrow to change it. But I'm gonna try now and get on the train. It's 20, nearly 20 past 4. I'm gonna try and get on the train now, before it starts to get crowded with work people and all of that good stuff. So I'm now back home. It was quite a long journey home. Train was very, very packed. And a young child, I say young child, but she was kind of a teenager. She might have been about 12, 13. Saw a seat available and was like, allowed me to have it, which was quite nice of her. Because there was big grown adults in there that didn't offer their seat. Now, this ain't going to be a rant, but if you're in the UK, specifically London, and you know that there's specific seats for elderly, pregnant, or sick people, or people who have illnesses, don't sit in the seats. Or if you see someone that looks like they need the seat, like offer the seat. I mean, I have a badge that I got from TFL. In fact, I got it from TFL, but I also got it from the Maggie's charity. And it doesn't guarantee you a seat, but it lets people know that there's something going on and I do actually need to sit down. And for me, where I'm getting the numbness in my foot and leg, it's just, yeah, it ain't the one to be stood on an underground train for 45 minutes or 30 minutes. It's probably longer than 30 minutes, maybe. Probably about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've always, whenever I've taken the underground, and this is pre what I'm going through, I never sat in the seats. I always kind of stood, or I stood on the end ones of the carriages that kind of have those little seats. I used to lean on those because I used to always think, I'm able to stand, so why would I take a seat? Unless I was particularly tired or I didn't feel well, then fair enough. But 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't sit down. It's only now that I'm like, I can't stand and I don't have the energy. And this is not just the days when I'm coming back from my bloods. This is also when I'm coming back from chemo. It's also when I'm coming back from chemo as well, when I'm tired and the antihistamines got me feeling drowsy and I just genuinely don't feel well. And it's not a rant, but it's just be mindful. Like, I suppose if we lived in a world where people were more mindful and more empathetic and more understanding of other people and more aware of their surroundings, because I realize there's a lot of people who are not aware of their surroundings, not at all. The world might be a nicer place. I'm just saying it might be a nicer place, but I'm home now. I'm trying to figure out what to eat because I know I haven't picked up this camera, but in the last few days I have struggled to eat and keep things down. Um, and it's making me almost not want to eat anything because if I eat, I either feel sick or my tummy is like messed up. So it's to a point now where I'm like, I was thinking it was mainly like really, really like, I don't know, spicy food or food that like maybe had rich sauces. At this point, there's no formula to it because sometimes I can eat the most plain food and still have a really bad night and early morning. So I took 2 tablets today, which was the tablets that the doctor gave me to help. Although she was like, don't take too many of them, because you'll end up going from one extreme to the other. But I just needed to take it today because I genuinely just couldn't deal with it anymore. I'd spent the last 2 or 3 days just trying to kind of deal with it, and I kind of feel better now. And I'm like, what do I eat that is relatively not going to upset my tummy? And at this moment, I'm all out of ideas. So I'm gonna probably have a look to see what I've got. I was thinking something like an omelette, but then in saying that, I had eggs yesterday and that didn't go down too well. So I don't know. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out because I want to get a good night's sleep tonight because my chemo is at 2:30. And I want to get up and do a few things before, well, I say do a few things, but I want to get up and start attacking my kitchen because they are going to be doing the kitchen in the next, I want to say 3 weeks. So I need to start clearing it out. And in my head, I'm like, if I do a little bit at a time, it will be easier than trying to blitz it and do it within a couple of days. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna probably just chill out for a little while. The video would have gone live today of me cutting my hair. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of still not okay with it, but it's part of the journey. It's part of what I'm having to go through. So I've got some really snazzy New Era hats to wear, so I'm all good. And I've got a couple of scarves I can use worst case scenario. My aunts told me about maybe getting a wig, but if I'm really honest, like, I don't know if I'm gonna bother with all of that. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I'll see as time goes on because I might get to that really awkward stage. I might decide to. Who knows? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But for the meantime, I'm gonna stick with my hats and my scarves. So yeah, let me chill out for the rest of the day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Mum, if you can't get a car in there, you, like I said, you shouldn't be driving. Let's go here. Alright, peoples, it's Tuesday, it's Thursday. So you know what day is today? Chemo day. We are on our way. My appointment's at 2:30 today, which is another late one, which I'm not looking forward to, because yesterday when I got on the train at 4 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, it was quite busy, as I said in my previous video, so, or in the previous clip. So I'm hoping that they are running on time and we can be in and out. But yeah, who knows? These things are not in my control, but we'll see. What did you need to do? Where's your jacket?
In my bag. My light coat, that little black.
In that bag you're carrying?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought my mum was... Oh, the light in today's pants. I thought my mum literally came out with her jacket on. I know why I'm without a jacket. I don't know why you're without a jacket. So it might have been him. So we're on our way to get something to eat before we go, because last week I ate and I felt okay. Had something to kind of line my stomach, so I'm going to go and get something to eat before we head. And a little salad with I need a panini or something, just to help my stomach, because we've discovered that I think eating too much fibre kind of is not great for me at the moment. So yeah, let's go. Because what about it? It's what? I don't know what my mum's asking me. 1 minute. I'm here. I'm waiting for my mum, who's using the bathroom at the moment. About 10 minutes. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes before my appointment. So I said to her, just in case they're running behind, go and use the toilet now. So I'm just waiting. I've had something to eat. I feel nice and full. And yeah, another week. Let's knock this one out of the park, because this will be, I've already even lost count now. 5th treatment, 4th treatment, 5th treatment, 5th one. So I've got 7 more to go after this. 7 more after this. So yeah, that's not too bad. Making headway. I'm back home, and I know I usually vlog. I didn't vlog today. And that was because it wasn't a great session today. And I would have to say this is probably the first time that I have been for chemo and there's been an issue. And when I say an issue, there was an issue in the sense of I got there just before my appointment, which was 2:30, and I didn't get seen until, I want to say, just after 4 o'clock. And then we didn't get out until, sorry, I got to take, is this my water? Yeah. I didn't get seen until just after 4. And I didn't actually come out till, I want to say, just after 6. So it was a very, very long wait. And then obviously by the time I got through and did everything, it was 2 hours. And Yeah. Where at first I was like annoyed, like I've been sitting here. When we got there, there was quite a few people in the waiting room, and I was the last person waiting. What annoyed me was that there was a guy who came in, and his appointment was 3 o'clock. Somehow he managed to get in before I did, which I don't understand how that works. And I'm also very annoyed with the receptionist. So when they ask me for, how was your last visit to Bart's, you're gonna get a reply this time. I don't normally reply, but on this occasion I'm going to reply. I'm going to reply just because, like I said, his appointment was 3 o'clock, and because he was hassling, they pulled him in, which I don't think is fair. If you've got an appointment time and there's other people waiting, you wait your damn turn. You understand what I'm saying? And he left way before I hadn't even started my chemo. I think she'd only just done my anti-sickness and he was leaving. So I was very, very annoyed at that, because in my head I'm like, if my appointment was 2:30, why is he going in front of me and I'm still waiting till 4 o'clock? But then on furthering, when we got inside and we actually spoke to the nurses, now we understand. The two ladies who were looking after me, or who were in the section I was in, hadn't had a lunch break all day. And they started work at 9 o'clock this morning.
But he should have still not have gone in.
I know he shouldn't have gone in, Mum. I get it. He shouldn't have gone in. But again, I will address that. When they ask me what was my recent outpatients, I am going to actually say, and I'm going to put the reasons why. And I know because it was the receptionist. And it's funny because when they heard us complaining, she kept putting her head down because she knew she was in the wrong. She knew she shouldn't have pushed him through. He should have waited his turn. I don't care whether you come there and you don't, you're come there in your appointment. Everybody else has got an appointment. Nobody's not there just for the fun of it. Everyone is allocated a time. But anyway, as I was trying to say, when we spoke to the nurses, it's become very evident how much strain those nurses are under. And I can't even be mad at them, because ultimately, like she said, they couldn't take a lunch break because I would have been sat out there waiting, because she would have to go, then her colleague would have to go for her lunch break before they could call me in. So really, I could have been there waiting till what time? 6 o'clock before they pulled me in, and then we wouldn't have been leaving there till 8. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the time they're saying they don't take lunch breaks because ultimately they know that patients are waiting and they understand what the patients are going through. One of the nurses was basically saying, like, you know, they know people in their own family who's been affected by cancer, so they know, yeah, so they know that, you know, the patients are their utmost, you know, even if they be selfish and go for their lunch, it's not going to affect the business, so to speak, of the NHS. It's going to affect the patients, because those are the people who it impacts the most. So I understand it, and I do think we are in dire times with the NHS, but that's not something I'm willing to comment on right now. But at the end of the day, you know, it's done. I'm home now. I'm going to try and get something to eat. My chest does feel a little bit tight, which concerns me a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on it tonight. But I am shattered today, so I'm kind of ready to eat and help my mum do a couple of things, and then I'm going to go to my bed. I'd be very surprised if I get out of bed tomorrow, if I'm honest, because I feel like I have overdone it the last week, and I think it's now starting to catch up with me, because my throat feels like I'm coming down with something, which ain't a good sign. But yeah. So there was nothing to add into the vlog, because I wanted to add, but then we were getting there, it was busy. And then when we got there, the room was quite full, and I thought, oh, I could vlog, but I couldn't really do anything, just because they were trying to get me in and out as quickly as possible, because they also were due to finish. So yeah, it's not great, but I would say out of 5 sessions, to have only one bad experience, well, not bad experience, but not a great experience, I can't really complain. I've got another 7 to go, so I pray the next 7 are not as long. They booked me back in for 2:30 again, so I'm really, really hoping. But if they try and book me in that late again for the following week, I'm gonna be like, that's not on, because every week I've had 2:30 now, And I'm going to say the last 2 times that I've been in, if they don't get me in on time, I've been waiting, and I've got a horrendous journey on the Central Line home. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. And I will probably check in tomorrow. It's been a couple of days since I picked up the camera. I think more than a couple of days. I don't think I vlogged Friday, Saturday, and I definitely didn't vlog yesterday, which was Sunday. Today is Monday. Oh, the last few days have been a little bit challenging. I genuinely haven't felt myself, and just not having the energy to get up and do most things, or yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird couple of days. And yesterday afternoon, I started to feel somewhat unwell. I've got a bit of cotton wool in my ear at the moment because I started to feel like I was getting an earache, and my tongue was hurting. It was just swallowing kind of hurt. It was all very, what is going on with my body? I don't like this. And then I started to get the achy feeling as if I was coming down with something similar to the very first week, where I started to feel like I was getting the flu. And yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. So today I pushed myself to get up, get out of bed, shower, change, do my eyebrows because I didn't have any eyebrows for the last few days, and just kind of get out of bed. I'm going to attempt to start clearing out the hallway. We're due to get a new kitchen fitted in the next couple of weeks, and I've got to kind of take everything out of the kitchen, which is great when you're feeling perfect. Sorry, there's this pigeon that keeps landing on my balcony. I'm not really sure why. It's hard enough when you're feeling well, but obviously it's a lot harder when you don't feel yourself, and your joints are aching, your hands feel funny, your feet are going numb, you feel sick all the time. I mean, it is probably nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30, and I'm just having something to eat because I felt sick all day, and because I felt sick, I don't feel hungry, which is kind of a cycle I'm in at the moment. So yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. And also, we still have to use the kitchen for the next 2 weeks until it's finished. What do I do with everything that's in there? I mean, it's fine when you first move into somewhere and you redecorate and you have things done because you've got boxes and everything's piled up. But my brain is trying to work out how this is going to work. I think the plan is to use the dining room table to put the kettle and things on there so that we can at least have a cup of tea and things of that nature. And then the alcove, I'm gonna try and put as much things as I can in there. Under the dining room table as well, I'm gonna try and put as many things as I can under that, and probably behind the sofa, and probably next to my desk. So in here is going to be looking mad for the next few weeks until the bathroom, until the kitchen is done. So that's on my mind. Just genuinely just not feeling myself. Just, yeah. As someone who's like a foodie who loves food, this has been quite challenging because some days I have no taste, and in some days it tastes like metal, so everything just kind of starts to taste the same. So the foods that I know I really like, that I can't eat. So then I start to feel very frustrated with myself because I know I need to eat something, but I just don't feel like anything. But then if I'm not eating, I'm not getting the energy that my body needs to do to repair the cells that are being damaged during chemo and to kind of keep me fighting fit. So this is where I am kind of just struggling, because this week will make 6 weeks. I will be technically halfway through. And in my brain, all I can think of is I still have another 6 weeks. And I'm struggling to get to week 6. Bear with me, I see a wasp. I now understand why they say that this is more of a mental fight than a physical one. Because physically your body's tired. Yeah, we know that. You don't feel great. Weird things are happening to your body. Your skin, like mine, pigmentation, you lose your hair, nosebleeds, dodgy tummy, nausea, all of these. But the mental effects, in the sense of, my mum laughs every week, I count down, because mentally I have to find a way to cope with the fact that for basically nearly 5 days out of the week, I don't feel great every single week, and has been like that for the last 5 weeks. And it feels somewhat like it's getting a little bit worse as time goes on. So I'm finding it harder, if that makes sense. I think I kind of was lulled into a false sense of security in the first few weeks, because I felt okay. And as the weeks go on, I'm starting to feel less and less not great. And I'm obviously trying to be very, very particular with my words, because I'm a firm believer of being careful what you say and affirming certain things. So, I'm trying to say I am well, I am healed, I am cancer free, all of these amazing affirmations. But my mental is the one that's, I think, is struggling the most. And I'm usually I'm a strong person. I've been through a lot in my life. I've experienced so much sometimes that sometimes I think, was that me? Did I go through that? And then I remember, yes, I did. But I think this is a different kind of mental strength that, I don't know. Some days are better than others, and that's all I can say. And I know this vlog is probably not very long and hasn't been probably the most thrilling, but this is the reality of going through chemo. This is the reality of a weekly regime of chemo. Now, I know when the nurse I spoke to last week, she was very much of, I feel like the weeklies are worse and they are harder. Not necessarily worse on your body, because, every chemo is different. But the actual coming in every week, 2 times a week, bloods and then your chemo, and then knowing that for how many days you're not going to feel great, and then you're back to the hospital again to do it all again the following week for 3 months. Yeah, I kind of don't think I underestimated it, but it's tough. It's actually tough. It's tough. And I kind of feel like the days when I don't feel great are the days when everyone's off work, and if I wanted to see people. And then when I start to feel normal, everybody's back to work. Well, not normal, I shouldn't say normal, but when I start to feel a little bit better and I don't feel as bad, everybody's back at work. So it's taken me 20 minutes to eat my cereal because I just don't feel hungry. But at the same time, I know I need to eat something because I'm starting to feel very, very dizzy and lightheaded. I've made myself an omelette to take up for the fact that I didn't have breakfast really. So this is brunch, breakfast and lunch. But I'll be honest, I don't actually feel like I want it. I'm gonna eat this, and then I've got some things in the hallway that I might just stick on Vinted today. Get it out of the way, stop procrastinating, get rid of it and clear some space in the house. So yeah, let me get on with that because otherwise it will be another day of not doing anything that I could have done something. So even if I can do a fraction of what I was supposed to do today, it would be better than anything. So yeah, I'm a bit